My name is Daria Miedzinski, Wallingford, Connecticut, and I'm here for criminal attorney misconduct, judicial corruption, and criminal lawyer corruption. And I'm here, I'm nervous, but about in 2003, this whole nightmare started, and in Connecticut, in the county of New Haven, in the city of New Haven, my husband was wrongfully indicted for a crime he never did with his son, touching his son. He never did it, and they had no evidence. And our victim, our so-called victim, his son, they had coerced my stepson into making up a lie against my husband that ruined his reputation and has ruined and hurt our business so much. And it's not true. We have a recantation, everything. And it's not good enough. Every time any evidence comes along with Andy's case, it's lost, damaged, misused. I believe Eugene Calistro is behind all of this. He is the state attorney for New Haven. He coerced and pressured my stepson into making up this story for over 8 months. And after 8 months, he couldn't take it anymore. And he just said, I'm going to tell them whatever they want to hear. So he did. And this started a ball of a nightmare, 10 years of a nightmare for him and I. He went to jail one time for that because of risk of injury. And he went, and they had death threats, mistreated, in the hole for 52 days when the maximum is 10 days in Connecticut. I didn't know where he was, and nobody would help us. I have written to every senator, every congressman, anybody, commissioner, anybody I can think of, and nobody has responded to me except Richard Blumenthal. And, I think that's really sad because who are we going to tell? Because this is abuse and this is harassment. You have taken away 10 years of our lives. We have been in a picture that doesn't move. And I believe that there's also a detective in Madison, Connecticut, who's also responsible for coercing my stepson. His name is Detective Trent Fox from Madison. And he would bring my stepson into the private room and lock the door and give him a pad and paper and tell him how the story would go when he got on the stand, because he said that on the stand during Andy's trial. It's just another thing. We never get a straight answer. Nobody wants jurisdiction of it. Nobody wants to take responsibility of this mistake. This is destroying somebody's life, and somebody made up this story, and they should be paying for this, okay? Because he didn't do this. We have, the recantation should be enough. If he said it didn't happen, how come, why isn't that good enough? And now I find out that my part on this movie was damaged. Now, to me, that seems a little weird that all my evidence and every report that is ready for Andy's case is always missing, lost, whatever. This is just, to me, maybe not, but it seems to me like Connecticut is behind it. And Eugene Calistro aspires to be a judge in Connecticut. He is ruthless, and he has no idea what he has done to our lives. And I am sure there are other people he has done this to, and Trent Fox. And this is the kind of people that we're paying salaries for and being treated like we're worse than animals? No, this is not the America I remember. This is some kind of bad dream. And the senators don't want to listen. The congresswoman I'm supposed to write to, she doesn't want to it's not her jurisdiction. Nobody wants to get involved with the problem. They just want to shove it under the rug and just forget about it. Well, it's making so many people suffer. And once your reputation is ruined, you can't get it back. It's gone.
I started that business well over 20 years ago.
And we've lost a lot of business because his name is on the sex registry. Now, Andy was taken off probation.
And I'm on the sex registry.
But he has to be on sex registry because of the glitch in the Connecticut law that says that he has to be on it for 10 years. So he's off probation, but he's still on the sex registry. So we have to call the state of Connecticut every time we want to leave and tell them that he's going out of state because it's a felon if he doesn't. He doesn't have a probation officer. He's not on probation.
The state themselves do not know
the state,
who I should call.
They don't know. They looked really dumb at that hearing. And Eugene Calistro, he even said at the hearing in December when he got off probation,
yes,
Andy is no threat to anybody.
And if I was no threat, if I'm no threat now, why was I a threat almost 10 years ago?
And no one knows. I've lost family members who won't talk to me, our family. I've lost friends. He's lost friends.
And why did I go to jail a second time?
There was no,
Only
and the second
because
time.
they threatened me and told me that if I didn't admit to this crime that I did not do, they were going to put me in jail a second time. And that's what they did. They put me in jail a second time longer.
Making a violation.
Than even the first time. I went in a second time. It would have been easy for me to just admit to something I didn't do because I was scared to go to jail again. But I did it because I wanted to prove a point. I didn't do this. And I'll go a third time if I have to. I am not going to have this on my record for the rest of my life.
So right now, we're fighting to clear his name. I just don't want him off probation because something that he didn't do should not be on his record.
Even my probation officer, my teacher, people in the state told me that I should have never been sent back to jail for the second time. They should have just sent me to the Sterling Center like they did with everyone else.
Yep. And that was 15 months, and they stuck. I had to take over the business by myself. I have fibromyalgia. It was a lot on me as well, okay? And it's wrong. And people who are accusing these people, there's something law that needs to be made towards these people because they are getting a way of smearing someone's reputation, and it's forever. And I am really, really disappointed in my government, who I thought so much of 10 years ago. But I don't think that now. I think they're nothing but a bunch of corrupt crooks, and they just will do anything to cover their butts, and they could care less about what you're going through or the situation or anything else, as long as they get to pocket that profit and have their little job security and get their way. They make the rules up as they go along.
And we know this not from hearsay because it happened to us.
And we read the whole transcript and we know.
And if it can happen to me, it can happen
And that's
to
why
anybody.
we're here, because I don't want to see anyone go through the 10 years of hell. I couldn't have my grandchildren over for 7 years because I couldn't even have a toy in my house. And then we had people from Wallingford, because my house got broken into. I had my whole house searched illegally. And they didn't even dust for prints. There was like 25 cops and detectives just searching my house. And they had no warrant. Okay, they were searching. They didn't dust for prints. Our house has been broken into. People are doing pranks. We're afraid. And his name now is still on the registry, even though he's off for probation. Now, something's got to change here, and nobody wants to answer to it. It's like, well, it's not my part, or it's not my place.
The judge wanted to take me off of the registry, but he says there's a glitch in the system, and it's not allowing me to do it. Figure that one out, guys.
And we're here because, we have been through a lot, and we want other people to know that you're not alone. And I'm not going to start fighting until a senator responds. Now, Richard Blumenthal and I, we do have a writing, he emails me, I write to him, he writes to me. But, and I have sent him article upon article. I've sent Obama article upon article about this situation, about the corruption, everything. I have not heard from anyone. And I think that is really, we're paying to their salaries. They could at least return or respond. Okay, I mean, I have sent for 10 years, I've been emailing, and nobody will get involved.
And we pay their salaries.
You know, we pay to be abused and harassed. And Andy had probation for 7 years. And he had to go see his probation officer once a week.
For 7 years.
And
he gave me a couple of breaks for a couple of days out of 7 years. And when I told someone that I've been going for 7 years probation every single week, they didn't even believe me. Because after a while, they're supposed to slack off a little bit on me. They just kept on pushing my buttons.
They just made him jump through hoops. And when he jumps, I jump, you know. And it's something that an innocent person shouldn't have to go through. I shouldn't have to prove my innocence. He didn't do it. That's it. There was no evidence, no DNA, no nothing. We had, and the case is called the child hearsay case. So that to me says you're just going by what that kid said. Kids lie. I have 2 daughters. I know. Okay, they lie.
And in my transcript, it says my case is a compromised trial case.
Jury.
Compromised trial jury case.
It's nonviolent.
So what does that mean? I thought you guys are supposed to be sure before you send someone into the can, right?
They have nothing. They have no evidence. They're going by what a kid that was coerced into making up a story. That's what they have. And that's what they've made us suffer for 10 years. And we just want to be here for these people and with these people being accused. We know how you feel.
Right.
And somebody's going to listen in that government. Somebody. And this is a start. And we all have to start just really speaking up and yelling, and we're not going to take it anymore.
And we're not going to stop either.
And I'm not stopping. I'm called the troublemaker in Connecticut, and I'm glad. Because when you stop saying what you think, you're no citizen. Because this is wrong. Okay? And this isn't just for me. I'm doing it for others. Because I don't want to see anybody or their family go through what I've had to go through, or him. And that's really our story. We could go on for hours, you know, but it's been a messed up case from the beginning. The state of Connecticut will not admit it. Eugene Calistro and Trent Fox are behind it all. And that's all we can say. And they're getting away with it, okay? Because Mr. Calistro wanted another notch in his belt for another case won. He didn't give a darn. What kind of a judicial person is that? And these people need to be reported. Eugene Calistro and Trent Fox.
And my son informed, and was taped, this is on tape, my son told Eugene Calistro before he went on the stand that he did not want to go through with this. He didn't want to do this lie. And Eugene told him, we got this far, we can't stop now.
So he pushed him to do it.
And he pushed him to do it.
We didn't get any of our
We didn't get
any of our witnesses up, because, or their other side, because Trent Fox didn't want to. I thought if you were subpoenaed, you had to, okay? And Marnie Ayala, who was the son's mom, she's behind a lot of this too, okay? And they didn't want to spend another night for accommodations, so they let her go home early. So it was, what did we have? They were the ones that were going to tell the story because they were behind it. And, you know, this whole thing from the beginning has just been unbelievable. I got home from my honeymoon, high as a kite, and the next day my husband's face was on Channel 8 News. It's such a devastating thing. And this government that we're paying better open up their eyes, because you don't know what it's like until you go through it yourself. Nobody. Until you go through this yourself. You don't even believe it because it's something that's embedded in you. America's so wonderful, so free, ooh, ooh. No, it's not. And it's all for money and power and job security. And these judges, they're the worst of them all. They treat people like they're dirt, and they make up their darn rules as they go along. And our attorney, he sold him up. We can't even find him. We have spent $250,000 on a lie.
Exactly.
$250,000. We pay big taxes. We're business owners. We're citizens. You know, we try to be good. You know, we don't bother anybody. And this is what you get. You could keep it. And I am so happy that this film is here, because I just want our side of the story to get heard, because it's always the other side that gets heard. And nobody knows the other side. And they need to know, because this is going on, because Eugene Calistro and Trent Fox, they did it to us, they've done it to others.
Ask my alleged victim, and he will tell you that this never happened, and he
was
made
all a
up
lie.
this story. He has already recanted. What is going on, guys? Why is no one listening to the alleged victim?
And I wrote to the corrections department. I said, the sex offender registry law needs to be changed. Why does my husband, he's off probation, why does he have to still have his face on that sex registry? Oh, well, he can't. It's a glitch in the law. Well, change it. And they don't handle that. None of them handle it. And they just pass the buck. That's the pass the buck government we have. And we have been through hell, and that's all, you know, we can say.